Welcome back. In the video where I actually put this clock together, I had some issues with the programming of it. And as I was actually recording the video, I kind of do live editing, we'll say, and I went and cut the film and decided I didn't want to do certain things and whatever. And then when I did the actual editing of the video, I found there was other stuff in there that it was just I had an hour of footage and I ended up coming out with like 45 or something like that minutes afterwards. And I mentioned that I would show a separate video towards the end of the video on how to program the clock. And that's what this particular video is. So it's going to be a short video. Of course, I wanted to try to shoot this before I make the other one public so they can both go up at the same time, hopefully. Anyway, to set this, they came with instructions that were not clear to me, and upon reading them the next morning, they did make a little bit more sense. It was kind of late, but there were some points that they left out and they just didn't explain stuff properly. So I went through and I actually redid the instructions. Now, the best way I can make this available is by, of course, doing the little screenshot thing here, which of course may or may not be readable, but I'm actually going to copy this and put it into the description. Hopefully it'll all fit. But what this clock, I'll actually say first that this displays the time in military for 45 seconds. Then 5 seconds it will display the temperature in degrees centigrade or Celsius, depending on how you want to say that. And then it shows you the date. So it's July 26th. And then this 3 is the day of the week, and I initially thought that was something else, and that part of the video is probably not there anymore, so my error, but it is not what I thought it was. So anyway, to set this, there's two buttons. The top button is the set button, the bottom functions the function button. To set it, you press the top one, the digits will flash. So now you're going to set the hours, and you would do that by pushing the bottom button to get to the number you want. So I'll just quickly run through it. And like I said, it's military time, so if you don't know military or 24-hour time, it's takes a little while getting used to. Fortunately, I'm used to it. I've used it in positions in my careers, I guess you could say. So anyway, when you get the number, then you hit the top set button, and then the minutes will flash, and it's the same thing for the minutes. And then you click it again, and now this is the alarm time, so I have it set for 8 a.m. You press it one more, and that's the minutes, obviously. And then when it comes up solid like this, if you press the bottom button, it actually lights up this very last dot, and that's actually turning the alarm on. If you want the alarm off, you hit that again, it shuts the alarm off. That's really the only way I see to turn it on and off. You press the top button again, it brings you into here. Now this was a little confusing, but this is the actual hourly chime set. 9 is the time the hourly chime starts. So 9 o'clock it starts the chime. Every hour it will chime. The 20 is the time it will stop chiming. So that's obviously at night. And you can set both of them either way you want. So if you want it to chime, you sleep during the day and you want it to chime all night, you can do that too. But you would set that here. And then once you get, the start and the end period to set, you get to where it's steady again, just like the alarm clock was. And if you press the bottom button here, you notice that the top dot lights. That top dot is indicating that the hourly chime is on. Now I had the hourly chime set to off, and I initially had it on because I thought it was going to do one of those little teet. No. If you have it set for 9 o'clock, it will beep 9 times, and it's not just like beep beep beep, like that 9 in a row. It's actually the alarm clock. It sounds like the alarm clock's going off like 9 times basically. It's kind of annoying, and you have to silence it. Now it was doing that very early in the morning, so that's what it seems like it's doing to me, because it was obviously going for a while. I shut that right off. It's kind of very annoying. Anyway, so if you press the set button one more time, it brings you to here, and this is your month and the day. So it is, like I said, July 26th. And then one more time to 3. So 1 is Sunday, 2 is Monday, 3 is Tuesday, or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. You get the idea. And that's how you would set that. And that's it. And then when you put it again, it brings you to here, and you know you're back at the time because it's just flashing. And that's it. That's really it. There's nothing more to it. Now I've had this for a few days running here. I like it. It's really a nice little clock. It's nice because the dimming feature works well. Like right now you can read it, and then if you're in a darkened room, it actually lightens. It's pretty nice. And I actually have a spot. I mentioned earlier, I may have cut the part of the video out, but I had a spot I was going to put it in, and I changed it to here. This is actually just a little extra cubby hole over here, and it fits perfectly because that little lip just kind of sits along the front there. Yeah. So if I actually kill the lights, I will show real quick, and I won't make this video any longer than it is. If I kill all the lights in the room, we'll actually witness the dim on that. Got one more light to kill. This one takes a little while because it is in the camera settings. See? And if I shine a light source, or maybe if I turn the light back on here, you'll see it immediately lightens right up. And you can see there is a brief delay before it shuts down, but it does lighten right up. I'm almost tempted to build a couple more of them just because they're actually handy little pieces of kit to have. Now you can battery operate these things if you get the battery voltage either up or down to 5 volts. And I do have an idea of how I can do that. And of course you may know what the idea is, but it's one of those buck boost converters, which I've done plenty of videos on before. And this would be it. And I can take this and connect the output of here to the input of here, obviously, and then connect the battery to the input of this. And then setting this little pot, I can actually adjust the voltage. Now obviously I would set the voltage before I actually hooked it up because I would need the output of this to hook to a multimeter. But once you set this to the 5 volt, you would hook it up. And let's say it's a 9 volt battery. The 9 volt battery would power this for quite a while because as the voltage drops, I mean, it's already taken the 9 volts and dropping it down to 5. But then as the battery starts to die, what's going to happen is eventually it's going to equalize out where the battery voltage is going to get down to 5 volts because it will draw that much. And then it'll go below that until the battery runs completely flat. And I think the cutoff on these guys is around 3 volts. So theoretically I could run you know, all the way down to that point and still power this thing. So a 9 volt would take you quite a while to use it. You could also probably solar power that or do a variety of different things, which is pretty interesting. And if I remember correctly, when I looked at the listing, they actually had this listed with a 5% if you bought 3 of them, I believe, which, you know, it's a little savings on them, but you can actually pick up one of each color. I may just do that. We'll see you next video.